issue about arts and culture is that it will unite our people. So that's very, very important, you see. Whatever is in our consciousness is going to be expressed. What we express informs what we want to do. So I look at the whole question of the black consciousness against that backdrop. We had a very big group called Ox of the People to Ride. And there were poets, musicians, painters, sculptors, theater people, dancers. It was a big group. And we moved all over around the country, Ox of the People to Ride. And it was a very long poem talking to all of these issues of conscientization, of being proud of being black, of wanting to create a consciousness which claims our humanity, consciousness which was calling people to act, consciousness which was confronting the racism of apartheid, you see. There was dancing in it, there was acting in it, there was poetry read. There were those people then who took the photographs, who painted, who did the sculptures out of what we're doing and spread them. So the first thing that I'm saying is that there is this thing about consciousness which is then expressed, which then takes the form of action, and that's what the arts can do for people. Currently, we take it for granted that we are black people. Before, nobody called us black people, they called us non-whites, which was planting into our minds that we should aspire to be white in order to be human. And you don't know how we fought. What were we fighting? We were fighting against the media of this country, which was convinced, committed to calling us non-whites. And we refused, and we demanded, and we acted against that thing. Eventually, they relented. I'll tell you something which happened also, which is very important. At that time, when you looked at photography and film, and also plastic arts, you saw something which had to change, and we discussed it quite elaborately. The photographers did not articulate the bravery, commitment, and courage of our people because they stood on the side of the guns. The barrel of the gun pointed that way, they stood here with it and showed us as victims. When we discussed, that thing changed. The photographers and the filmmakers stood with the people. Peter Magubane changed the position. Alf Kumalo changed the position and influenced many young people. And suddenly you saw the bravery, the anger, the fighting spirit of our people, you see. Which means they impacted on the consciousness of people, you see. The other thing which arts can do, it creates a mirror. People begin to look at themselves. Inside themselves, they create a mirror, emanating from what the arts are saying, whether it is film, whether it is photography, whether it is dance, whether it is theater, whether it is music. I praise musicians of this country, both organic musicians and conventional musicians. I praise them a lot because if there is one art form in this country which has held on to the culture of Africans, it's that art form of music. Jonas Gwangwa, especially one of them, who's very important. He was not there then, he was outside of the country, but if you look at when he came back, what he did. When I say came back, first of all, he left America, went to Botswana. Left Botswana, went to stay in Angola in the ANC camps, military camps, and created that big group, Amandla, the Amandla Ensemble, which then toured the whole country. If you came from the Black Consciousness movement, you saw parts of what we were doing in the fabric of Amandla. I think the art forms which are trying to do that, film does try to do that, Theatre has really nosedived in our country, which is very dangerous. Also, you remember, I mean, when I was 20, 22, 23, I was forever active with poetry all over the country. That is not happening. I see that now and then there are dotted places where poetry is happening. It is a national art form, you know. I listen to music many times. I'm saying, but hey, really, man, shouldn't we be much more creative about putting a mirror in front of us, portraying, even if it were to portray the diversity of our country, the possibility of the diversity of our country. You must remember that the diversity of our country was twisted by apartheid and gave a reason for discrimination. We have to turn that on its head and say, look at the beauty of diversity. We are not different from nature. You know, if you look at nature, nature is very diverse. You look at animals, diverse. You look at plants, diverse. You look at the seasons, diverse. However, we must never forget that the most oppressed people here are black people. They are the ones who are not employed. They are the ones who are discriminated against. They are the ones who are suffering immensely under poverty. We must not forget that. And for as long as that stays, it threatens everything that we have gained. So we must pay lots of attention on that. You see, the arts must speak to this thing and say this is totally unacceptable. And here's the answer for our country.